So yeah, you know how I was talking to you guys earlier about trying to do a dry April? This is like a sign for me to just try to be my best, in my best health at 43. Did I say that? I turned 43 this year, which is kind of crazy to say out loud. Growing old doesn't mean growing weak. Growing old doesn't mean your life is over. Growing older doesn't mean life can't begin. There's so much things to see and do still, so. Hi everyone, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Mikey. Hi, hello, welcome. And as you can tell from the title, this is a birthday vlog. My birthday is actually on Monday and it's Saturday, but we're celebrating it this weekend. My family's coming over for a Yakitori brunch today, which, if you don't know what Yakitori is, it's basically like Korean barbecue, but it's Japanese style. So you're using Yakitori grills, and then for the Yakitori grill, we burn some coals, so you get like the really smoky flavor from the grilling of the meat. So really excited for that. So yeah, that's all we're doing for today, and then tomorrow, I'm not sure. I think we were supposed to head out to the desert, but things might change. We might just do a picnic, or I don't know, we'll see, but Yakitori today with the family. So let me show you our setup in the back real quick before we put out all the food. Okay, so we moved over our furniture. That way we could put the ping pong table out here, get a little games going. Got our chairs there. So here's where the other furniture went, and then here's our tablescape for Yakitori. So these are the Yakitori grills, and this is by Yak Grill. I'll link them down below. But basically you put the coals down in there, and this is how the coals look. See that? So once those get lit, we put them in there, and then you're gonna fry up your meats, veggies, stuff like that. We actually have two of them. And then we also have a Korean barbecue here because I love pork belly, so we're gonna do some pork belly on the Korean barbecue grill. But that's how it's looking. All right, we have the coals burning in here to go quicker because they need to be pre-lit before you put them in the Yakitori grills. Here, Mom, how are you? Say hi to the vlog.
Hi.
Hi, vlog.
Hi, vlog.
Okay, and just like that, it is Monday. Today's my actual birthday. I am officially 1 year older. Before we get into what was in that box that I was sliding over to my bedroom, just want to do a quick birthday recap. Saturday, as you guys saw from the previous clips, my family came over and we just did a Yakitori brunch. It was delicious. But I have to say, I haven't mentioned this in the vlog yet, but for the month of April, I've been trying to do a dry April, which basically just means no alcohol for the month of April. It wasn't something like a challenge or anything. It was just something I wanted to do for myself. With that said, I did fail, but I did cut back drinking a ton for the month of April. I guess maybe the reason I wanted to do the dry April was because I did listen to Mel Robbins' podcast about what alcohol does to the brain. And it wasn't like it scared me into not drinking alcohol. It just allowed me to ask myself questions of why I drink when I drink. And a lot of that is based on one, society and how we look at alcohol as a form of celebration. So, you know, whenever there's a party or a gathering, it's just alcohol is oftentimes involved. But then also number two for me, a lot of it is social anxiety. As you guys know, I consider myself an introvert when I'm out in social settings. When I'm with my core group of people, I'm pretty much an extrovert because I'm comfortable around them and I'm comfortable being myself. But then when you put me in a situation where there's a lot of strangers and people I don't know, then I kind of go into my own shell. And that's another separate story in itself. It's just I have really bad social anxiety. So I use drinking as a form to cope with that. And I've done that for years. And so yeah, basically when I listened to that podcast by Mel Robbins, I love that it just gave me the tools to ask myself questions about my drinking habits. It wasn't like making me feel bad or, you know, it wasn't one of those like never drink again. Anyways, I'm still going through like that sort of journey and I'm definitely on the camp of limiting the amount of alcohol I drink just because as I'm getting older, I'm thinking more about my health and not just in terms of physical, but also mental well-being. I want to be like, when I think about my mom, she's turning 80 and we're going to Japan, you know, and like the fact that she's turning 80 and still wants to travel, she still walks every day. And so that sort of crept into my mind about like, I want to be my best version of myself when I'm old in terms of being healthy, in terms of still being able to go do things. Like you think about it, we work so much and then our golden years when we retire, I don't want to be lazy. I don't want to like not be able to get up and go and do stuff. I still want adventure and why would we work so hard just to retire and be tired? You know what I mean? I want all the mental and physical strength I could get. And so that's kind of what this birthday means for me is that I want to be on a more healthy journey. So yeah, I guess that's where I'm going with this. So with all that said, we're probably gonna start tomorrow because it's my birthday and we're gonna go out for dinner. We're gonna head to Ruth's Chris, a steakhouse. It's a franchise, but it's actually one of our favorite steakhouses. We have tried so many and whenever like someone asks, oh, what's your favorite steakhouse? And we'll say Ruth's Chris, they're like, ooh, really? But for us, we love it. It's just a simple steak. And yes, I will partake in an alcoholic beverage. I will probably have maybe like a martini or something just to have a little nightcap for my birthday. But after that, yes, I'm going to go back not having to feel like I have to drink at every outing. I don't know how this turned into an alcohol vlog but yeah, I guess this is just a new year for me to learn and grow and be the best self that I can be and tackle one thing at a time because obviously there's many things that we can improve. And so maybe for this year, it's going to be my alcohol consumption and just learning to have a better relationship with alcohol, I guess. So yeah, that's where I'm at with my alcohol journey. But let's get into what's in this box right here. Wow, I'm such a dummy. It literally says, please open the box from the bottom. Just do this. So we have to turn it upside down while it's open. Ooh. You know what's gonna make this better? Some YouTube. Who should we watch while we unbox this and set it up? Let's watch Steve Moria. This guy's pretty funny. Okay, be right back. Feel like falling deeper. Cold nights 난 너무 싫어. 기다리기에는 너무 길어. 줬던 내 사랑이 식어. 기대만 하는 것도 난 힘들어. Alright, so I already did my cardio for the morning, so I'm going to test this out tomorrow morning and I'll give you guys my honest opinion at the end of it. But first impression, so far so good. It actually feels really stable. If you're cycling, maybe this would be wobbly, but it's really, really smooth and secure. The tension here is really smooth as well. Whoa! You can get a lot of tension on this, that's crazy. It's quiet, you can't hear anything, listen. Whew, I'm already sweating a little. Oh, this is gonna be awesome. I'm so excited. All right, but again, I'll give you my full thoughts later as I use the bike, but so far, first impressions, pretty good. All right, so it's just almost 2 o'clock now. Just gonna hang out, chill, get ready, and then I will see you guys for dinner, for my birthday dinner. Oh, before I get ready for dinner, just wanted to share with you guys a book that I recently picked up. It's called Loving. I actually saw it from a viral post on Instagram. It's a photographic history of men in love in the 1850s all the way up to the 1950s. And so, as you can imagine, back then it was pretty much illegal to have a same-sex relationship. And so these pictures were collected by, I believe it's two guys who just randomly just started seeing, you know, vintage photos of two guys seemingly in love at like estate sales, vintage stores, thrift stores, stuff like that. And they started a collection, and look how crazy and old these are. So cool thing about this is that as they were collecting these photos, they started to see little signals or signs, something like they would wear the same hat to show that they were in love. Yeah, it's just so cool. Like, look how crazy this is. It says, not married, but willing to be. That's pretty ballsy to take a picture like that at that time. It kind of just goes to show that back in the 1850s, you know, where social media wasn't a thing, or even text messaging or stuff like that, to see guys in love at that time just shows that it's not like a learned behavior. It's not something that you were taught. Like, being gay literally is not a choice. I've said this time and time again when I was growing up, that if being gay was a choice, I would not have chose this path, sadly, because it was such a harder way to grow up. You know how easier my life would have been if I was just straight? The progression of your life moments and all the things that you're supposed to go through, oh my gosh, so much easier. I wouldn't be dealing with a lot of my social anxiety that I am today. So I beg you and urge you that if you think being gay is a choice, to do your research, talk to people who are gay and listen to them. Listen to them versus what you were told and taught, because you were taught to be discriminative and you were taught to be a bigot, where this is just love. You know, this is just a natural feeling that we have. Guys, it's my birthday. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but the reason that we love this place is because they have the best crab cakes ever. So we're gonna start off with the crab cakes. All right, here is a sizzling crab cakes. Okay, let's go in for a bite. Oh my god, I almost dropped it again. Mmm. Let's get into this steak. Actually is seared to perfection and medium well. Okay, mine might be well done. Probably in the middle, it's more medium well. Ooh, it's hot. So I could do a little bit more pink than this.
Probably best to say medium, so that it
keeps cooking?
Yeah.
That's a perfectly cooked medium right there. Mine's a little over, but that's okay. Alright guys, post-dinner updates. I have to say, I think we've outgrown Ruth's Chris. Nothing really hit the way it used to. And I think that's because, one, we can cook a pretty good steak at home, right babe?
Pretty good. Yes.
We can cook a pretty good steak at home. Two, one of the major things we go there for is the crab cakes. And for some reason, I'm gonna say it was a 5 out of 10 for me. Usually it's like a 10 out of 10 there.
And they
so.
kind of look smaller.
And they looked a little bit smaller. Didn't come out sizzling that it usually did.
The steak wasn't sizzling.
Yeah, it was still good, but just not worth what we paid. But I think we've outgrown it, and it's fine. So if you have any recommendations of good steakhouses in the San Diego area, comment down below, and we'll go try them out. Turret, top left. Ooh, let's go. Nice. Good job, guys. Good job.
Oh! We both missed, would have been.
I like your friend a lot. You from me.
So I'd like to thank Yesoul for sponsoring this portion of the video. As I said earlier, I was looking for a Peloton alternative indoor cycling bike. As an avid mountain biker during the SoCal summers, it gets hard to get out there in the heat, and so I wanted something I could do at home. But I wanted something light, portable, a fraction of the cost for the Peloton bike that I could put outside to do some outdoor workouts as well. And upon my research, I found this Yesoul G1M bike, and I've been using it for a week, and I have to say I really, really like it. The reason I didn't go for a Peloton and the reason I started looking at other brands and other options is because basically I didn't want to have to pay for the Peloton subscription as well as the screen to not really utilize the screen since I wouldn't be using the classes. And so one of the highlights for this bike is that it does come with a screen and it also offers classes, but the cool thing about that is you don't have to subscribe or do the classes to be able to fully utilize the screen on this, because you can basically mirror or cast your phone onto here and it'll basically be like AirPlay. It'll mirror whatever's on your phone into there. And so basically you can use the screen to stream any of your favorite platforms like Netflix, YouTube, Disney Plus, Prime, all that stuff. And for me, that's what I want to watch when I'm doing cardio. I don't really need an instructor yelling at me to tell me what to do. That's just my personal preference. And so that was a huge thing of why I really wanted this bike over a Peloton. Another huge reason is the price. This right now is retailing for $499, which is insane given what you're getting out of this bike versus a Peloton, which runs up into thousands of dollars. So I'm really glad that I reached out to Yesoul and they were kindly enough to send this bike for free for testing, and so far I love it. So one of my other main concerns for this bike is because it was a fraction of the price of a Peloton, I was really worried about the build quality as well as how sturdy it feels, because I don't know, it's just one of those things where it's like, if this is $499 and Pelotons are thousands, what, and even the Nordic Track, I'm like, how good could this really be? And honestly, it is really sturdy and super quiet. Yeah, even Donnie was like, are you sure you want this? But then when he saw it, he tried it out, he was like, oh wow. So he was thoroughly impressed as well. I've actually taken a few cycle classes, and this knob is clutch for when you want to increase your resistance or decrease it. And you know, if you want to start sweating more, definitely want to increase it and ride harder. And then when you're cooling down or just taking a break, you want to decrease this and just cruise along. That's very much like mountain biking, because in mountain biking, you're constantly climbing trails and mountains and hills, and so certain times you're gonna want to increase the tension to get that feeling of climbing, and then when you're descending you can release and just cruise down. So yeah, and so because this does have classes, the screen actually does rotate 360 degrees, so it can go all the way to the left or right, and that's primarily if you want to hop off your bike and then do whatever the instructor's saying, whether it is, you know, HIIT workout or something with weights. So that's pretty awesome if you're into classes. I believe the classes, I think I want to say it's $70 per year, which comes in just under $6 per month, which is actually pretty affordable if you are into classes. I think Peloton's is $240 a year. So yeah, I'm really excited to use this throughout the summer and even into the winter months. It's something that I could use in the garage, here, or out in my backyard. I'm thinking I might leave it in my garage because that's where all my other equipment is, and I could just wheel it out to the driveway if I want some fresh air. Because for me, doing cardio, I love to be out in nature, getting in the fresh air. And honestly, this couldn't have come at a better time. Everything just aligned. This was not planned. I didn't plan my birthday vlog to turn into this health kick for 43. It just kind of progressed into that, and this ended up shipping at the same time as I was doing my birthday vlog. The universe was telling me to go on this path, and I followed it, and here we are. Again, thank you so much, Yesoul, for sponsoring this portion of the video and sending this bike for me to continue my health journey as I am learning to age gracefully and embracing my age in my early 40s. Before turning 43, I never really talked about my age on this channel aside from a couple videos. It was just one of those things where it was almost embarrassing, because one, I follow a bunch of other vloggers who are in their 20s and 30s. I know a lot of you guys. I met you online and we follow each other on Instagram, and you guys have been really supportive of me on my journey for vlogging, even though I'm like old in comparison to you guys, but you have been also nice and gracious. Anyways, I'm kind of getting off tangent. I'm starting to embrace my age, and again, this guy will help me kind of be in the best shape physically, but also mentally. So again, Yesoul, thank you for sponsoring this portion of the video. Oh, and you know what I forgot to mention too is that if you do have Peloton equipment, let's say you have a treadmill, but you're not quite sure you're gonna like cycling, or maybe you just want to integrate that Very seldomly in your workout routine, you can use your Peloton app in here. You just have to mirror it from your phone. You plug it into your USB-C or lightning cable and you're good to go. So while this is considered somewhat a Peloton alternative, it could be an addition to your current Peloton equipment if you're not wanting to invest in a full-on Peloton bike. So something to think about. I will leave some information down below in the description for this, as well as a link in case you want to check it out. All right, guys, we are at about 2.75 miles out. I thought this was a little closer, the dock. I thought it was a 2-mile run to here. But since we're at 2.7, we might as well just finish the whole 5 because I did want to take you guys on this dock, show you guys this view. It's so pretty. Forgot how much I missed lakes. Wow, let me take you a little higher. Again, we are at Miramar Lake, and this is a 5-mile loop run, so it's good for biking, running, hiking, walking. I'm so scared you guys might fall. But it is a beautiful, nice run if you're around town or visiting. A little awkward though with the construction, but I feel like if you're here early in the morning, you won't hear any of that construction sound. But yeah, really nice. Just gonna sit here for a little while, catch up my breath, and then wrap up this 5-mile run. So yeah, you know how I was talking to you guys earlier about trying to do a dry April? This is like a sign for me to just try to be my best, in my best health at 43. Did I say that? I turned 43 this year, which is kind of crazy to say out loud, but I think I'm gonna use that as motivation. Like, I'm getting older, that's just a fact, but that doesn't mean that I have to get weaker, more unhealthy. I can try to reverse time as much as I can by eating healthier, drinking less, working out more. And so kind of what this vlog is about, this birthday vlog, is a message to myself that life doesn't end in your 40s, 50s, 60s. Life could very much still be beginning. You could still witness and do some of the best things in your life at any age. And so this is a birthday message to myself that growing old doesn't mean growing weak. Growing old doesn't mean your life is over. Growing older doesn't mean life can't begin. There's so much things to see and do still. So yeah, I'm gonna take that and run with it for 43 and try to be in the best shape of my life. I think in my late 20s into my early 30s, I was in the top shape of my life. It was during that time we were traveling a lot. We were going to all these beach destinations like Greece, India, Maldives. And you know, when you're going there, you want to look good and feel good, and so that was a catalyst or motivation for me to be in my best shape. But now it's all about health and being stronger when you're older. That's my motivation to be in my best shape, and I want to be in better shape than I was back then. So that's my new mantra for this year, for 43. If you guys are in a similar boat where you're thinking you want to be healthier, you want to make better choices about your body, you want to lose weight, gain muscle, come along this journey with me and we can cheer each other on in the comments section. Hit me up on Instagram. Let's motivate each other. So yeah, all right, let's wrap up this run. We have about 2.25 mile left. Let's go. Let's see if we can see any fish. Anything down there, guys? Oh, there's one right there. I don't know if you can see it. It's a pretty decent sized fish. Here's where I parked. And I always love it when a van parks next to me. That's like camaraderie.